Alrighty, so it's been a while since I've done a video. Last video I did, I was doing my Hyrox race in New York. And so I just wanted to do like a little recap video, just talk about my experience, and then kind of just talk a little bit about what my plans for the channel are, given that, I did my first Hyrox race and kind of, was what I was aiming towards for a while, and kind of coincided with the start of this channel. So kind of want to talk about what my plans are for the future and what my new goals are, and kind of lay those out and really do a real video log and blog here and just spew out random bullshit and just talk. So yeah, that's that pretty much. Did my Hyrox race, finished in an hour and 24 minutes and some change. Wasn't the time that I had predicted, so was definitely like humbling. But I'm glad that I finished it. I really did feel like I had pushed myself, and I got to the end of the wall balls and just had a lot of wall balls not count or weren't allowed, just because it didn't get low enough. And so ended up taking me like 8 minutes to do the wall balls. But yeah, besides that, I did feel like I pushed as much as I could. There's always maybe a little bit of mustard left in the tank that you could have squeezed, but I still felt overall satisfied with my performance. But still think that I could do better. But yeah, that's like the race at a high level. First of all, I just want to say the experience was super cool. It was cool to be there with like the environment and like all the people. I was at the New York City race, which apparently was the largest race to date in North America. And I had went the day before because it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of an event. So I went on the Friday, the day before when I raced, on the Saturday. And they had like the mixed doubles going on, and it was just like a cool, like total vibe. So that was really cool. But yeah, what I learned, I guess, from the race was definitely a lot. Things that went well for me were the runs. I was a little bit surprised at my pace, just given that I hadn't really done too much running leading up to it, or as much as I should have been doing. And so I was running like a 4:30 pace, which is not what I run here in Boulder. So definitely reap the advantages of training at elevation. I was able to run a lot quicker, but my times on the machines were slower than I expected. Here's my like race simulation times that I had, and then here's some of my whole times for the actual race. I think what happened was I just went out a little bit too fast. And so I kind of felt a little bit tired when I got to the machines and knew that I had to like pace myself a little bit. So I kind of feel like I had lost maybe a couple minutes there. The other thing was, I don't think I would have done a lot better because of this, but one thing that did slow me down a little bit was when I got to the sled pushes, the turf was a little bit sticky because it was raining the day before, and the one that I was on was just a little bit stickier, and I didn't really have traction, and I had slipped and almost like hit my face on the ground. So it wasn't pretty, but then it like really required me to get like really low and like dig deep to get traction to even get the sled to move again. And so that was a little bit tough, but I still managed to kind of keep a decent pace after that. And I was really feeling good. It wasn't until the lunges, after those lunges, I don't know what happened, but I hit a wall. It took like a minute for me to get out of the rock zone. And then that last one run was just really tough for me. And then getting into the wall balls, I just fell apart, I guess. It felt like I had not a lot left. And after the judge didn't allow my like first few, it felt like 10, where she was like, no rep, no rep, no rep. And I hadn't gotten low enough, which is my fault because I just didn't really train to do them that low, I guess. When I was training them with Andrew, we had like put a block underneath. And so I was going and touching, but I think what they expected to be parallel was a little bit more than what I thought was considered parallel, which is totally fine. It just wasn't what I was prepared for. Um, and so I definitely feel like I was fatigued really quick on those, and just found that my shoulders kind of just gave out, and it was just really hard to like catch the ball after, and so I had to take a lot of breaks. And yeah, so yeah, that was my race. That's kind of my analysis of it. Obviously, I wanted to do a better time, but at the end of the day, it's not really about the time. And so I think that's what I learned from this experience, is just like that doesn't really matter. With that being said, though, I definitely one day honestly want to break an hour. I don't know if that's going to take 4 years, a year, 6 years, but that's like something that I think that I could reach in my physique and in my training. So whether I'm like actively training to do another Hyrox or not, I still think that like if I am training to be better and improve my cardiovascular and improve my strength and just focus on being, like a fit human, and do that consistently, I think that's definitely an achievable goal. Um, but like I said, it's not really about the time. But I still think that, I want to have some sort of, long term goal to keep me kind of not motivated, because I still am motivated, for, intrinsic reasons of wanting to be fit and wanting to move in my, innate primal way, and feel good while I do that, and excel and exceed. Uh, but I still think, having that like kind of benchmark to know in the future, like, hey, I like worked there. So however long that takes, that's definitely something that I think that, I want to put on my bucket list. So yeah. In terms of when my next Hyrox race is going to be, I'm not really sure. I'm not really in a rush to do another one. Um, it's one of those things that like I think that I enjoy training, and I enjoy like pushing myself in individual workouts, and I like work out really hard. Um, I don't know that like training for something is necessarily the best for me and for my, overall lifestyle, my overall personal lifestyle. Um, to me, my still number one goal is just to like resonate on my own highest frequency, and find that from within. And so for me, I'm not like an overly competitive person. And I find when it comes to training, I start comparing myself to other people. And so I don't think that has been necessarily good for me, and I really just want to be focusing kind of on myself, and, like I said, resonating on my highest frequency, and coming to know myself better. And so, while I think that like the training has been really good, and I've definitely learned a lot about myself and knowing what my limits are, um, I don't want that to be, from an intrinsic, force, like outsourcing my goals towards, a company like Hyrox, to set the standard for what is success and what isn't success. So I want to find that from within. So right now I'm not planning to do another race actively. I think that I will do one at some point. Like I said, like I do definitely think there's like an achievable goal for me, however far down long term it is. That 60-minute mark just sounds like something cool to be like, oh, I got there, and, set some sort of long term goal, to just kind of know where I'm at and kind of measure that success, and not, have the Hyrox be the threshold of my success, or the arbiter of that, and kind of just leave that as like, another Apple Watch metric kind of a thing. But obviously, yeah, I'm still kind of just yeah, I'm still trying to, I think, figure out what my goals are for my fitness. And I think maybe that's one thing where I kind of got maybe disillusioned and thought that I could have done a better time than I did. And like, even though I thought I could do under 110 and I didn't, I still think that that's in the cards for me. And like, it's still something that I have to push for, and not say that I'm just gonna bust out under 60 minutes after I just did an hour and 24. But it's definitely something that I still want to, aim towards. But yeah, with that being said, um, in terms of future training, I think I want to kind of shift my training away from Hyrox and back to Goda, because really I think that's where the essence of training to be at the highest frequency for me lies. I find the most joy in working out and feel the best from doing it, and just feel um, good about myself when I feel like I'm training a movement and just training longevity and just training overall health, instead of like training some sort of fitness goal to attain. I feel like with Goda, I feel like I'm more training to be a more durable and strong human being with more integrity. That's just how it feels to me, and so I really want to get back to that. And that just feels like something that I've gone away from. And so I definitely want to bring that movement practice back into my life. Even though it is something that I still am practice regularly, I still don't practice it as much as I would like. And so I definitely want to get back to doing some more Go-To stuff, and kind of grow that, and start to maybe share that more on Instagram and whatnot. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm planning to do a more regimented Go-To style workout going forward. So I've got Monday, Wednesday, Fridays doing Go-To workouts. So Mondays I'm going to do more like push-up style stuff with some crawls. Wednesdays I'm going to focus more on my squat, doing some landmine stuff, getting the access squat more open. And then Fridays I'm going to focus more on my drop-ins, and then just do a run on Sundays. So really just kind of trying to get back to my athleticism and my movement, and getting back to like just playing and just getting back on the court and just like dominating the court. Not dominating, but just getting back to, feeling good and playing and enjoying moving. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's something I'm really excited about. Is just still getting strong, but just getting more fluid and flowy, and then strong in those athletic positions, so that I can just keep stacking and making sure that I'm not losing my my coordination and my athletic abilities. So yeah, super looking forward to that. Definitely plan to share some more of my Go-To stuff, and post more of that on Instagram. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited to do it. It's been a long time coming. So I'm hopefully with this new schedule, I'll be able to film a bunch of stuff, and share some more of what I do, and what training looks like to me, and what I love in training. So looking forward to that. So that's my plan for training going forward. I still think that I'll reap the benefits from doing Go-To stuff that will translate over to Hyrox. I think that it just kind of is an overall strength building practice, especially just with kind of the lower back, the glutes, and the shoulders, and kind of just being more athletic. And then it'll translate hopefully for me to just better running posture, better running form. Even though I think I could probably be doing more for my cardiovascular and my running right now. I just want to get back to doing something I enjoy in terms of training. So that's my plan with the Go-To strength training right now. I find it will definitely make me a better athlete, and I'll be way better on the volleyball court. I'll be way better at pickleball. I'll be way better at spike ball. I'm not sure that it'll necessarily translate to better Hyrox, just given that some of the Hyrox movements aren't what you would consider, Go-To type movements. So they're not, primal based movements. So the sled push is definitely something that I think that I'll get a lot better at just from doing Go-To stuff. Sled pull, maybe not, because a lot of that is, reverse movement type stuff. We're moving backwards, whereas Go-To training is all about moving forward and training, forward locomotion and athletic movement, whereas the sled pull is not really something that you do in sport. Same with the row. The wall balls, we'll see. I don't think I'll be training the wall balls for a little bit, not until I have an upcoming race. Definitely just want to focus on my natural squat, that will like translate to, you know, higher vertical, and just, you know, more fluid jumping mechanics, just because with the wall balls, you're really having to push out of your heels, and you're catching kind of from a strange position that doesn't really bring you to the most natural squat. But who knows? I definitely have room to improve there for sure. But I still just want to focus on my deep squat, but more so in a more athletic fashion, or not athletic, but a more forward moving kind of a way. And less heel driven, more in terms of the balls of the feet. Um, I think that just from doing go to strength stuff, I'll get better at the ski erg, um, and hopefully burpees. That's still something that I'm going to be focusing on with my go to training, is just getting some more push ups, shoulder type, more shoulder type movement going on. So I think I take back what I said. I think doing the go to training will translate to better station times with Hyrox. So I don't think that's my goal right now with my training. I think that it will hopefully translate to that. And when I go back to doing a race, I'm confident that I'll feel better about training for Hyrox again, if I take this time to really just, you know, focus on what I think is, you know, improving my natural innate movement patterns and the strength within those that creates long lasting durable movement. I'll feel happier about taking the time to train for Hyrox and feel better about doing that, as something that, you know, as some sort of challenge for myself, where I can still push myself to be at my limit. So yeah, definitely just looking forward to just training, enjoying the gym, not focusing on, you know, having some sort of race, but getting back to routine and consistent recovery and nutrition, eating well, more, you know, meditation, creation, and just being in a better state where I feel like I'm more myself and I'm not trying to appease or meet the standards of, you know, external entities. So yeah, I'm really excited. I've been kind of putting off making this video because I just knew that I needed to sit down and kind of align myself with my own inner values and my goals, and really set my path forward. So that kind of gets into what I wanted to talk about next in terms of my plans for the channel. Obviously it's a new channel, and there's not a lot of viewership, but it has been kind of a fun experience for me to create. This video, at the time of this video, I still haven't posted my camping trip series, but that was something that I really had a lot of fun doing, and even editing the videos has been the most fun of the videos that I've gotten to edit. And so I definitely will still, I think, have some sort of training type videos, and still try to document my life and my story a little bit, and kind of try to make some fun stories, just because I think it's fun, and I enjoy doing that, and I enjoy creating, and I like stories, and I like filmography, and I like editing. So it's just something that I want to keep doing. I don't know if I'm going to do as much of the workout stuff, and I want to kind of keep it more in terms of in alignment with like the Oasis lifestyle of just, you know, being a free being, and creating, and what that looks like, at least to me, and what I think, you know, being your best self looks like, and trying to find that and understand that from within. And so when I was on that camping trip, that's where I felt most closely aligned to that, and that like mission, and those values. It just really felt like I was aligned. So I kind of want to keep doing fun stuff like that. So I think my plan is to maybe have some more camping videos, probably the same type of stuff, but I think I want to be more intentional about the videos that I create, and put some more time into making them something cool that I actually want to watch, and that I don't get bored editing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever content I end up shooting, and hopefully it'll be entertaining, because it makes it really fun to edit when it is. So yeah, And then besides that, just gonna give a quick little update on Oasis, my app that I've been building. So at this point, I've had 2 co-op students working with me for the last 8 weeks, and they've been absolutely crushing and killing it, and it's so freaking awesome. And like, we have meetings every morning, and it's like my favorite part of my day. And even though I'm not like programming, it's still really cool to see them develop on it and just kind of watch them take what initially was my vision and just create it and make it into something real and get their feedback and insight into it. And so it's been really awesome. That's been really cool. So I'm really looking forward to sharing what they've been working on at some point. But that has been really cool, but it has been also like really exhausting trying to do that with my full-time job at Google, where I actually am hosting interns this summer and still expected to do my job, which has been manageable, and I've been able to, separate them and make sure that they don't overlap. So that's been really cool. I'm really excited to share what they've been working on. They've been right now just focusing on the diet tracker. So right now with Oasis, I've got the mind and the soul aspects. So for the mind, we've got to-do tracking and habit tracking. And so that's more so in terms of goal setting and kind of where your vision is headed. And then in terms of the soul, I've got the wellness journal and the sleep diary aspects. And so with the body, hopefully I will have fitness tracking and diet tracking. And so right now they're working on the diet tracking aspect part of things. And so, yeah, it's coming along really cool. Hopefully with the fitness side of things, I'll be able to incorporate some CODA stuff into that and share my movement practice somehow. So really looking forward to that. Yeah, so I think this is long overdue. This is good for me to kind of sit with myself and really see where I'm at with myself. And yeah, like I said, my number one goal is just to continue to resonate on higher and higher frequencies and to come to know myself better and to keep creating things that I love. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you like this channel and you'd like to support, please consider checking out my app Oasis. And if you're looking for a go-to coach, please DM me on Instagram. Thanks for watching.